From 1 chicken to $1 million! And my very first challenge on this channel. But I won't be choosing the map, difficulty, starting money, land, or equipment. The Wheel of Fortune will decide everything. So let's find out just how badly it's about to ruin my life. Let's spin the wheel. Oh, and one more thing, I almost forgot. There are a few mandatory rules. I cannot sell my starting land or my starting vehicle. The $1 million must be earned through the chicken business. I can't take out my first loan until 6 months have passed. Contracts can only be completed using equipment that I own. Leasing equipment is allowed, but not for contract work. And finally, I have just 3 years to complete this challenge. Let's do this. Let's spin the wheel and find out which map number we get. The wheel only shows numbers, and I have absolutely no idea which map is hiding behind them. There are plenty of modded maps in my collection that I've never played before, so this could get very interesting. Let's see what we get. I think it's stopping. The map number doesn't tell us much yet, but $750 is actually really good. A hard difficulty setting though, that could make it a lot harder to finish this challenge within 3 years. That's not good. Well, hopefully I landed on a map that actually has some land available to buy. Oh, I got the cheapest vehicle from my list. Honestly, I don't even know which one is the cheapest. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's jump into the game and see which map we got. Spakovo, a Polish map. I installed it a while ago and took a quick look around, but I've never actually played on it. If I remember correctly, there are a lot of small fields on this map, so this could be very interesting for a challenge like this. Let's take a look and see what we're working with. Oh yeah, I remember these long, narrow fields. Our plot is number 91. Now where is it? Maybe there's some kind of production building on it? And there it is. It's not the smallest field, but that shape is definitely not doing us any favors. Before we start the challenge, I'll quickly set everything up. After all, we need 1 chicken, and that chicken needs somewhere to live. So I'll place a small chicken coop. I think that's only fair. Although starting with a coop for 1,000 chickens would be a lot nicer. Good thing we have $750. We're going to need every dollar if we're going to keep our chicken fed. All right, now for the vehicle. The cheapest car on my list. But what actually counts as a car? I'd say the Skoda is probably the cheapest option I have, and quite possibly the most useless one too. Perfect. And now we have $750. Let's see how Alex from a parallel universe handles this.
Well then, it's time to begin. Good afternoon. Could you tell me where field number 91 is located?
Further down this road, you'll run into a herd of wild boars.
Wild boars? Are they joking? Oh, hey, get out of here. Shoo, shoo. Well, that's definitely an interesting way to start this challenge. I think I scared them off. Now let's take a look at our land. Somewhere around here I should have 1 chicken. Matilda, let's go meet her. Hey, where are you? All right then, maybe later. Right now, she needs food. And that means our very first mission is to feed Matilda. This is a really detailed map. And I got lucky. My field already has grain growing on it. That's great news, because chickens need grain. Looks like Matilda won't be starving anytime soon. So, where do we start? Let's buy some chicken feed and pick up my car. Oh, hi Matilda. Are you hungry? Let's fix that right away. Where's the store? Oh, everything is so close together here. And our old friends are here too. I can actually walk to the store. I'm using a fast walking mod because I really don't like teleporting around the map. When you're running across the map, you get a chance to explore the area and learn your surroundings. And here we are, the store. And there's my car, my favorite color. Yeah, it's a nice car. But it's completely useless for a farm. Well, at least it has 4-wheel drive and a hitch. Those might come in handy someday. Oh, I forgot the chicken feed. And I need an axe too. Since contract can only be completed using equipment that I own, an axe might end up being a very useful investment. I could harvest the crop using this thing, but it would be painfully slow and incredibly inconvenient. Still, we have to work with what we've got. Unfortunately, I don't have enough money right now. The only contracts I can take are forestry jobs, so we're heading to the forest. And there's actually a perfect contract available. At least, I'm pretty sure an axe will fit in a Skoda. Oh, but first, I need to feed the chicken. Can't start building $1 million chicken empire if the only chicken is starving. Let's take care of Matilda first. Let's go. The countryside roads on this map are incredibly well made. Honestly, I never would have noticed this if I had just teleported straight to the forest. Rocks, potholes, the suspension is struggling to keep up. And that's actually pretty realistic. I like that. Whenever I try a new map, one of the first things I pay attention to is the back roads. A lot of maps get the fields right, but not many get the countryside roads right. The forest looks great too. This map is making a really good first impression. The problem is, forest land here is pretty expensive. You know what? I think I'm going to add one extra rule for myself. I can only take forestry contracts during the first year of the challenge. Oh yeah, contract completed. It's time to collect my payment. And there we go, my very first income. Now I can finally buy my first piece of equipment. Looking at this thing, it's hard to even call it equipment. But I don't really have a choice. Renting a real harvester for such a tiny field, especially on hard difficulty, just doesn't make much sense. Honestly, I wish the game offered some old, barely running harvesters for a couple $1,000s. Something held together with hope and duct tape. It might barely work, but it would still be better than this medieval torture device. Well, looks like we're going to suffer, and hopefully this will be the last time. That's right, Matilda. You're about to have plenty of food. Oh no, I just realized something. This is going to take a very long time. A very, very long time. I just filled the hopper completely, and then I decided to check one thing. Chickens don't eat oats. Good thing I didn't try feeding all of this to Matilda. That would have been awkward. Well, now I need to unload it. Actually, I'm going to sell it. Luckily, the sell point is right next to the store. And with the money we earn from this, I'll be able to buy a lot more grain that's actually suitable for chickens. Oh, it unloads automatically. Well, that makes things easier. $653, not bad at all. Although, it might be hard to earn back the cost of this thing. But that's okay. I'm going to sell it once I'm done with it. and then I'll definitely come out ahead. At least that's the plan. Oh, they paid me $6 more this time. Excellent. We're getting closer to that $1 million. Oh, and this is the nearest place where I can refuel my equipment. Good to know. There's not much left to harvest now. The field is almost done. But a good contract just showed up. Forestry again. Dead trees again. Honestly, I don't really enjoy these contracts. But I don't have much of a choice. If I want to finish this challenge within 3 years, I'm going to have to take every opportunity I can get. Excellent! Another $1,800. We're finally starting to make some real money. Now let's see what the used equipment market has to offer. What we really need is a cheap tractor. And hopefully something that doesn't fall apart the moment we start the engine. Come on, give me something good. Maybe something better will show up later. But for now, since we finally have some money, I think it's time to buy a small mower. We need to expand the number of contracts we can take. The more job opportunities we have, the faster we'll grow this business. And right now, every dollar matters. Oh, I forgot to buy the mower attachment. Well, that was smart. All right, that's fixed. For now, I'll leave my brand new giant tractor right here. Now it's time to finish harvesting the field. Finished. And we got lucky with the weather. It's a good thing I managed to finish before dark. That's strange. Something seems to be wrong with the sell point. Oh, looks like some kind of technical issue. Maybe it's because the hopper was only half full. Well, whatever the reason, we can't stay here forever. Let's keep moving. Finally, I can sell this thing. And hopefully, I never have to use it again. So, what's next? I remember seeing a cheap water trailer somewhere. And there it is! Since I've decided to play this challenge a little more realistically, I should probably eat something too. So I'm going to place a few greenhouses. That way I can grow my own vegetables instead of buying food. And sell whatever I don't need. I really don't like loading pallets. But I also don't use super strength or auto load mods. That's why I usually avoid building huge greenhouse operations or giant factory setups. But if the farm grows big enough, I'll just hire some workers. Let's say I pay them $100 for every pallet they load. Of course, they'll be doing all that off camera. And of course, I wouldn't be me if I didn't do something stupid right before calling it a day. I decided this tractor was going to pull that water tank out of the pond. The problem is, the tank probably weighs 5 times more than the tractor. And I definitely don't have enough horsepower for this. Even my Skoda isn't helping. You know what? I'll deal with this tomorrow. I can't see a thing anymore. September is here, and I've been trying to pull that water trailer out of the pond since early this morning. And since I'm known for solving problems quickly and efficiently, I left it there and went on with my day. And to avoid crawling through swamps every time I need water, I think it's time to place a well. They're not very expensive, and honestly, I think I can afford one. And because I'm obviously a very wealthy businessman, and future millionaire, I bought another water tank. At this rate, I'm probably going to write a book someday. How to run a successful farm. Chapter 1. Buy things you don't actually need. Chapter 2. Buy even more of them. Honestly, I think I'm doing great so far. By the way, I've started noticing signs of autumn on this map. The seasonal details are really well done. I like that. And here are the greenhouses. Perfect. There are some nice small ones available. They'll produce no more than a single pallet of vegetables per month, which means they won't need much water either. That sounds just about right for a small farm like this.
The well does have one downside. It's incredibly slow. But I guess that makes sense. Some invisible worker is probably standing down there with a bucket, pulling up water one bucket at a time. And that sounds like a lot of work. At least filling the greenhouse tanks goes pretty quickly. Ooh, I have a bad feeling about this tractor. It looks like it's really struggling with this kind of work. And I have a feeling this won't be the last time it complains. I should probably fill this greenhouse with a few extra loads of water while I'm here. Might save me some trips later. Oh, the roof actually opens. That's pretty cool. I guess it helps keep the temperature down on hot days. And while I still have a little money left, I should probably buy a rooster and a few more chickens. After all, without a rooster, these chickens aren't going to multiply themselves. $22. The business is booming. And now Matilda won't be lonely anymore. She has some new friends and a handsome rooster. All right, everyone, I'm expecting eggs any day now. Don't let me down. I did harvest the field, but there's a problem. I need wheat, and right now, I don't even have enough money to buy chicken feed. Honestly, I don't like this seeder, not one bit. I need to save up some money, rent proper equipment, and prepare this field the right way. After all, the field may be small, but we're going to need a lot of feed if this chicken business is going to grow. And of course, I need a proper tractor. This feeling of being completely helpless is getting really frustrating. Every job takes longer than it should. Everything feels harder than it needs to be. The sooner I get a real tractor, the sooner this farm can actually start growing. I tried everything. I even disconnected the hitch. Nothing worked. And since I'm such an expert at solving problems, I left everything exactly the way it was and went looking for contracts instead. My sanity is more important. And it's finally time to put this little tractor to work. Now that's what I'm talking about. Some great mowing contracts. For the first time since we started, I can actually choose which contracts I want to take. That's a very interesting piece of land. Small, cheap, and yet it has garages, grass fields, and even a few trees. Exactly the kind of property I'm looking for. Although, there's a good chance those garages are just decorative. We'll find out soon enough. This is a beautiful map. Honestly, I'm surprised I've never done a playthrough on it before. There are so many small details everywhere. And at the same time, nothing feels cluttered or out of place. The roadsides look fantastic. The vegetation is well done. There are animals, little footpaths, and small details around every corner. It feels like a place where people actually live, not just another map built around fields. This project isn't just about trying something different. It's also a chance for me to experience something new. I've spent a long time working on a story-driven series, and honestly, I think a short break is a good thing. Everything changes. YouTube changes. New rules appear.
Recently, YouTube introduced a requirement to label videos that contain realistic AI-generated footage. I did that with my latest video, and whether it was because of that or not, it made me stop and think about the future of this channel. Luckily, the first season of my series has come to an end, so I decided to take a short break from storytelling and try something completely different. And that's how this idea was born. But this isn't just my adventure. I want to turn it into something bigger, something the entire farming simulator community can take part in. At the end of this video, I'll invite other creators to join. Any creator who has ever made a challenge video is welcome to participate. And viewers can join too. If you'd like your own starting scenario, just leave a comment. I'll use the Wheel of Fortune to create unique starting conditions for every participant. Maybe it'll be a disaster. Maybe it'll become an amazing story. Either way, I think it could be a lot of fun. One of my favorite parts is that even the map is chosen randomly, which means we'll get to discover maps we've never played before, and maybe even see what other creators have hidden away in their mod folders. And don't worry, the stories of Alex and Samantha are far from over. In just a few weeks, I plan to release the next chapter of Samantha's story. And in July, the first episode of Season 2 will begin. Alex and Emma are heading to France, a new country, new places, new adventures, and probably a whole new collection of problems. So this isn't a goodbye, it's just a short break before the next chapter begins. But for now, let's get back to Alex and his little mowing contract. Contract completed. All right then, hand over my money. That's more like it. Now we're talking. Every dollar counts. And today, we're moving in the right direction. There are 3 mowing contracts available right now. And what's stopping me from taking all 3? Absolutely nothing. All right then, we're taking every single one of them. If we're going to work properly. All contracts accepted. Now let's head to the closest field and get started. Well, maybe we're not leaving just yet, but now we're definitely leaving. Probably. I finished the next contract pretty quickly, and on the way, I found something interesting. Turns out it was a collectible item, and for finding it, I got paid $1,000. Now that's the kind of treasure hunting I can get behind. I'm really glad I decided to take this road. And I learned something else. Apparently, on this map, you can collect trash from the forest and get paid for it. That's actually a pretty cool feature. So now, I'm hoping I'll come across some of those garbage bags while working in the woods. For once, finding trash might actually make me happy. And then I saw the next field. That's when I stopped laughing. Actually, that's when I realized I had a problem. A big problem. Because this field was huge. Absolutely huge. Maybe not for a real tractor, but for my little machine, it looked endless. I suddenly had a feeling that this contract was going to take a lot longer than I expected.
Since I'm going to be driving circles around this field for a while, I might as well think about the future. According to the rules, the $1 million has to come from the chosen business. In my case, chickens. That means only money earned from selling eggs and chickens counts toward the goal. And if I end up running out of time, I'll also count the value of chicken-related buildings when I sell them at the end. And honestly, on hard difficulty, I'm pretty sure I won't finish on time. If I manage to fully stock my chicken coop during the first year, I expect it to produce only one full pallet of eggs. That's roughly $2,000. And I'll probably spend about the same amount on chickens and feed. So it'll be interesting to see whether this business is actually profitable in the long run. I've already come up with a rough strategy. First, I need to figure out which chicken coop gives the best balance between capacity and cost. Feed capacity matters too. And one thing is certain, I'm never buying chicks. That makes absolutely no sense. What does make sense is filling a coop to about 70% capacity, then waiting for chicks to be born. Over time, the coop will naturally grow to 100% occupancy. Once that happens, I can sell some of the adult chickens and bring the occupancy back down to 70%. That way, egg sales cover the feed costs, and the chicken sales become pure profit. But that's not all. If I manage to plant wheat this season, I can cut my feed costs in half next year. And after 6 months, I'll finally be allowed to take out a loan and buy another field. Ideally, I'd like to buy a field that already has wheat growing on it. But that's probably unrealistic. Before starting this adventure, I installed a risky land market mod. That means very few fields are actually available for sale. And if one with a wheat crop does appear, it's probably going to be overpriced. The funny thing is, I'm making all these plans before even 6 months have passed. So let's see if any of this actually works. We'll find out at the end of the 3 years.
And one more thing. I've been driving, and driving, and driving. At this point, I'm getting dizzy. And somehow, the contract is only 5% complete. 5%! Which means there's no way I'm finishing this before dark. And there's a very good chance I'm going to run out of fuel too. The only thing keeping me motivated right now is those $5,000 waiting at the end. Because with that money, I can finally buy a real tractor. Oh yes, no complaining. Back to work.
Why? I'm checking the replay. That can't be right. A second ago, the fuel gauge was showing 25%, and then it instantly dropped to 0. Well, that's not good. What do I do now? Run! I have to make it back before it's too late. I've already spent an hour and a half of real time working on this field, and I was absolutely sure I had enough fuel and enough daylight to finish the job. Apparently, I was wrong. Yes, I lost the fuel can somewhere in the bushes. I spent a long time looking for it, with a flashlight, everywhere. And eventually, I gave up. My plan was simple. I'd buy a new fuel can in the morning, come back here, and calmly finish the contract. But the next morning, I did exactly what I had planned. I bought a new fuel can, ran all the way back to the field, filled up the tractor, and then I realized something was wrong. The contract had expired. I had failed to finish the last 10% in time. And no, the game wasn't broken. This one was entirely my fault. I simply forgot to check the deadline. I was disappointed. That's it. I'm done. Maybe I'll quit and come back in a few days. Yeah, right. 5 minutes later, and 1 cup of coffee later, I was back. I accepted my mistake and got back to work. Because sitting around feeling sorry for yourself doesn't make money. Moving forward does. This beauty cost me $5,510. And after all that hard work, I finally managed to sell the mini tractor. Which means I can now officially announce that I am becoming a real farmer. It's not the biggest tractor, it's not the newest tractor, but it's mine. And compared to what I was driving before, this thing feels like a luxury machine. Now we're getting somewhere. Wow, now I can drive 14 miles per hour without any problems, even with a trailer attached, and even uphill. Now we're talking. And now I'll finally be able to do more than just complete a logging contract. I can actually haul some of the cut trees away and sell them. The contract allows it. Now that's extra money, and that's exactly what I need right now. Things are finally starting to move a little faster. Now I just need to cut the trees down, remove all the branches, and cut the logs into 4-meter sections using a measuring tape. It's much easier to handle them that way. And processed logs usually sell for a better price. And more money. We're definitely going to need more money. That went pretty quickly. So what's the next purchase? Honestly, we need a little bit of everything. A few more greenhouses, more chickens, and we still need to fill the coop completely. Oh, this tractor is pulling the trailer without much effort at all. Excellent. And now I have lights, which means I can keep working even after dark. They have so many logs here, thousands of them. And yet, apparently they still need my few little logs too. I'm sure mine are the missing piece. You know what? I'll sell one log first, just to make sure they're actually going to pay me. All right, now I can sell the rest of it. It's not a fortune, but it's still money. And right now, every dollar matters. As long as money is this tight, it probably makes sense to keep doing this. A little extra income here, a little extra income there, and before you know it, it starts adding up. At least, that's what I keep telling myself. Hey guys, how's it going? What happened here?
Everything's fine. Just routine maintenance on the transformer. You can keep going.
Great, thanks for the information. Have a good one. Wow, and it's only halfway through the day. That's actually pretty good. Now I can finally bring water to the second greenhouse. And while I'm at it, I'm going to place 2 more greenhouses. We need a little variety in our vegetable production. It's good for business and good for health. Besides, this gives us a chance to find out which crops are actually the most profitable. You know what? I think this is the perfect spot for a few greenhouses. Yeah, right here. Excellent. Now all that's left is hauling a whole lot of water. I need to buy a cheap trailer. Just a temporary solution. It's not exactly convenient, but it is very cheap. And right now, that's what matters. Now I can finally bring some feed to the chickens. Oh yeah, that should keep them fed for several months. And while I'm here, I'll buy 10 more chickens. Excellent. But there's still one problem. How am I supposed to load pallets? Well, for poor future millionaires like me, some local garage inventor came up with this thing. It's awkward, it's slow, and it's definitely not fancy. But using free autoload would be too easy. This was my choice. The only problem is, it can't lift pallets very high. But that's all right. There's always a way to make things work. Oh, we have offspring. Excellent. The chicken business is officially growing. That's exactly what I wanted to see. And it looks like a new contract just appeared too. Now that's a good opportunity to make some money. But only if I can haul away at least a few logs. And that's not as easy as it sounds. These trees weigh more than a ton each, and cutting them into manageable pieces is a challenge all by itself. Still, if there's money lying in the forest, I'm going to find a way to bring it home. Yeah, this axe is not made for trees like these. I need a chainsaw. The problem is, I can only cut it in a very narrow spot near the top. And that creates another problem. Honestly, the only way I'm getting this giant present out of here is if it falls directly into my trailer by itself. Oh, yes, just like that. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that again. And just like I expected, I never managed another perfect drop like that. Only one more log barely landed on the trailer, and even that took some effort. The tractor can already feel the weight. It's working a lot harder now. Pulling these logs is no joke. And it's getting dark. Working in the dark is dangerous. I'd like to survive long enough to see how this story ends. Wow, more than $1,000. That's a very nice bonus. And that's on top of the contract payment. Which means that by the end of the month, I have more than $3,000. Now comes the difficult part. I need to invest that money wisely. November is here, the last month of autumn. The morning starts the usual way. A little more water for the greenhouses. Then it's time to load the harvest into the trailer. Earlier this morning, I made a few phone calls. And I found a place willing to buy all my produce. Vegetables, fruit, berries, and eggs too. Hopefully one day I'll have such a large selection of products that I'll be able to get a permit and open my own food shop. But for now, I'll have to deliver everything to this distribution center. It's quite a long drive, but that's just how business works. On the bright side, by the time I got there, the sun was already up. Good morning. I brought 2 pallets of tomatoes.
The unloading area is over there on the left.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, let's see. Looks like they're doing some construction here. I'm glad to see this town is still growing. They're repairing things, upgrading things, building new things. That's a good sign. Because if people are investing in this town, maybe it's worth investing here too. Maybe this is the right place to build a business. Not bad. That's pretty good money for just 2 pallets of vegetables. And it confirms exactly what I was expecting. I can produce roughly 1 pallet per month. And that's exactly how much this place is willing to buy from me. 1 pallet of each type of produce. Which means there's no point filling every greenhouse with the same crop. Variety is the key. Tomatoes, lettuce, strawberries, whatever sells well. The more different products I can offer, the more pallets I can sell each month. Looks like diversification isn't just for investors. It's useful for farmers too. That was a very profitable contract, and more importantly, a very fast one, which means I can finally afford a proper mower. About time. There's just one problem. It requires 60 horsepower, and my tractor has 59. 1 horsepower. Just 1. It sounds ridiculous, but this world can be cruel sometimes. So there was only one solution: more power, which meant upgrading the engine, a new tune, a different intake manifold, and a few more modifications. Not exactly a cheap upgrade, but if it helps me make money faster, then it's an investment, not an expense. I didn't even have enough money for the upgrade. I had to sell one of my old trailers just to make it happen. And after increasing the engine output to 66 horsepower, the tractor was still struggling to pull the mower. That should have been my first warning, but no, I ignored it. And then, about 5 minutes later, the tractor simply gave up. It stopped working with the mower altogether. Wonderful. I spend all my money on upgrades, sell part of my equipment, and somehow end up with a machine that still refuses to cooperate. This farm is trying very hard to teach me patience. I made the decision very quickly, almost instantly. About an hour later, the mower was sold. there was no point replacing the tractor. The nearest upgrade that actually made sense cost around $10,000. And that's simply not happening right now. So I did something that probably sounds completely ridiculous. I bought the little mini tractor again. Why? Because I had contracts to finish, and I intended to finish them. If I started accepting jobs and then abandoning them, people would stop calling. And I can't afford to lose regular customers, not at this stage. So for now, the mini tractor is back. Not because I wanted it, because I needed it. It was finally time to buy a proper trailer. This one cost me $2,400. Not cheap, but definitely more practical. In theory, it can carry 6 pallets, but honestly, I'd rather transport 4 at a time. The trailer only has single wheels, not dual wheels, and I don't really feel like picking up pallets from the ditch. Although to be fair, weight is probably more important than the number of pallets. And it's time to scale the business. This chicken coop costs only $2,000. Of course, that's with my free fence mod installed. Without it, the price would be much higher. Which means that in terms of cost versus capacity, this thing is hard to beat. And you can immediately see the biggest weakness of this chicken coop. Yes, I can make it larger. I could even keep 500 chickens in here. But the feed storage capacity stays the same, only 750 liters. With a fully stocked coop, that wouldn't even last a month. So this is only a temporary solution. As soon as I have enough money, I'll replace this coop with something better. Sometimes it feels like nothing is changing, like there's no progress at all. But when I stop and think about it, that's not true. Last time I loaded 2 pallets onto the trailer. Now I'm loading 3. Just yesterday, I had only 1 chicken coop. And before that, I didn't even have a tractor. Maybe the progress is small. Maybe it's hard to notice from day to day, but it's there. Good morning. Today I've got onions, strawberries, and cabbage.
3 pallets? Excellent. Go right through.
Perfect. Thanks. That gave me a little extra money. And naturally, I rushed straight home so I could spend it. Spend it wisely, of course. Because that's exactly what successful businessmen do. The moment they make money, they immediately start looking for ways to spend it. I bought a little more feed, topped up the water in the greenhouses, bought a few more chickens, and I even managed to complete a small forestry contract. And just like that, the last day of autumn came to an end. It wasn't the most profitable day. It wasn't the most exciting day. But every little step moves this farm forward.
And that's it for this episode. The next one will be out in just 4 days. But before we finish, I have a challenge for other FS25 content creators and for you. If you want to take part, just let me know in the comments. And in the next episode, you'll find out what the Wheel of Fortune has chosen for you. But right now, let's see what happened when I put a few YouTubers on the wheel. Who got lucky? Who got completely doomed? Let's find out. And if even one of them accepts, I'll immediately start preparing the next challenge. New rules, new conditions, and maybe an even crazier challenge than this one. Alright, let's spin the wheel. And one more thing, a huge advantage of this challenge is that every creator can do it in their own style. That's what makes it so interesting. Some will focus on realism, some will focus on speed, some will probably go completely insane, and that's exactly what I want to see. So if you know another creator that I forgot to include, leave the channel name in the comments. Maybe they'll be part of the next round. And yes, I have absolutely no idea how any of these creators are going to find out about this challenge. So let's just hope word gets around. Maybe the farming simulator community will do its thing. Maybe somebody shares it. Maybe somebody tags them. Who knows? But if this challenge reaches even a few creators, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Now there are a few questions that might come up. For example, what happens if the wheel lands on map number 40 but the player only has 30 maps installed? Simple, just keep counting from the beginning again. So in that case, map number 40 would become map number 10. The exact same rule applies to field numbers. But what if the selected map doesn't have any purchasable fields at all? Well, in that situation, the creator can decide for themselves. But my recommendation is simple, just move on to the next map in the list. And how will I and the entire farm life community know that someone accepted the challenge? That's easy. The creator or even one of their viewers can simply let me know. For example, by leaving a comment under my latest video. I'm planning to keep a short video diary covering the progress of this challenge and all the major news surrounding it, including future community challenges here in Farm Life for Farming Simulator. But for now, let's wait and see who decides to join. And once all the participants are in, we'll compare the results. We'll find out who got the worst luck imaginable and who should probably run out and buy a lottery ticket immediately, because some of these challenge conditions are absolutely brutal. Our wheels of fortune are about to stop spinning, so it's time to go over the main rules and reveal the final results. First, let's review the challenge conditions. You cannot sell your starting land or your starting vehicle. The goal is to earn $1 million specifically through the chicken business. That includes the sale of eggs and chickens. The value of chicken coops also counts toward the final total. Loans are not allowed until 6 months after the start of the challenge. Contracts may only be completed using equipment that you own. Renting equipment is allowed, but only for work on your own land. Rental equipment cannot be used for contracts. And finally, the challenge must be completed within 3 years. Some of you may have noticed something important. There were no cuts during this entire process. Everything was recorded in a single take, and the creators appeared in simple alphabetical order, so everything was completely fair. And honestly, there would be no point in trying to manipulate the results anyway. Now, what can I say? The luckiest creator this time was Modest Gamer. He gets to start with the cheapest tractor available, $500, and easy difficulty. His map is number 29, and his starting field is number 55. Not bad at all, but the toughest challenge went to 2 creators. Both of them rolled the same brutal conditions. They start with only $50, a 2-wheeled vehicle, and hard difficulty. Those creators are Daggerwin and DjGoHam Gaming. Good luck, gentlemen. You're going to need it. And that's it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and let me know what you think in the comments. As for me, I'm heading back into Farming Simulator to continue our challenge. See you next time. Bye.